You're on the party line with Sarah and Christy. This is I'm on the Phone podcast, where we're healing out loud, sharing culty stories, and laughing at the mess along the way. So grab a coffee, a bestie, settle in, and let's talk.
Anyway, what's on the agenda today, babe?
So today I think we're kind of at the, coming to the end. I think it depends on how much we get through, but it's kind of like we've hit that pivot of realizing, how much in fawn mode we were, and like that identity crisis of, if I'm not the agreeable one, then who am I?
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're at the stage where we're relearning love.
Okay.
And so, like, what does loving others look like now, and what does it not look like anymore? Like,
Right.
How do we know that we're choosing love and not survival?
Well, that's not deep or anything.
I know. Sorry, we just dived right off into the deep end here.
Wow.
Because this is I think this is where I am.
Oh,
like I'm having to evaluate. Like, I have to ask myself these questions, like, and it's so hard.
Yeah.
But I'm asking myself, well, I'm noticing more when I get uncomfortable expressing my needs. And that's kind of the cue.
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't be uncomfortable asking for this.
Right.
And oh my gosh, oh fuck. That just hit. Well, I guess we're diving in the really deep end right now. Because it just made that connection in my brain to something that has happened. When I'm gonna have to edit this heavily because I'm gonna have trouble putting this into words.
Yeah.
I chose love and not survival when I chose not to respond anymore to my family.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't even that I was choosing not to respond. I mean, there was, like, because I told you already, we talked about this previously in this series.
Yeah.
Like, when I expressed a need and said that, in the midst of all this chaos, when we were on my campus and everything was going to hell in a handbasket for me.
Yeah.
And I texted my mom that I couldn't pretend anymore because something had to give somewhere.
Yeah.
That was one of the realizations that had been made clear to me, or become clear to me, that choosing love doesn't always look like flowery. Like, it was choosing love for myself and for them, which people may not understand that at this point. But it was not loving to allow that relationship to continue for them or me.
Right.
Like, choosing to continue that relationship would have, like, annihilated me.
Yeah.
And it would have enabled them to continue the annihilation. And that's not loving either. Because I was not able to express my needs in a safe way whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so, like, choosing love and not just survival, because survival eventually becomes like an elimination of self, like complete.
Oh, complete. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. When you're constantly in that survival mindset, you are pushing yourself down further and further and further just to get by. And it is not necessary when you're having to try your hardest in a relationship with someone.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't worth it at all.
Well, and like what on the outside may not have even looked like trying because it was often silent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I knew there was, I mean, like I knew that speaking up was going to obliterate me in some way, and it did.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah, you annihilate yourself because you know you're not accepted. So,
you're not accepted unless you're compliant and go along with whatever narrative has been concocted.
mhm,
Um, and so something else that's recently like a reframe that has happened recently around this whole situation. And I know that it's a touchy subject for a lot of people. A lot of people don't talk about this. I still feel some hesitancy talking about it, but it's also been like over 2.5 years now.
mhm,
Like I said that I couldn't pretend. I did not ever say, never talk to me again. I don't want to talk to you again. The message I received back was not appropriate. It was so vile and like made me the absolute problem in everything.
yeah,
Um, and then when I did see them again.
mhm,
And one acted like nothing happened or was happening, even though there was something actively happening while I was there.
mhm,
And the other person actively would not speak to me of their own volition. And it has remained that way.
mhm.
So it wasn't even that I went no contact, it's that I was abandoned.
Yeah. And they made that choice.
They made that choice because
Not-
there's been no effort to reach out like personally by them.
Mhm,
There has been other people who try to guilt me into coming back and also implying that the problem is me.
mhm.
Um, Not one person has asked for my like what was happening for me, what was going on.
Right.
And so that's been very enlightening. And there's been narratives spun about me that are so completely untrue.
Mhm,
And so for me to choose to stay in that type of environment and that type of relationship would not have been choosing love. I know,
no.
for myself. And okay, we know we're kind of, I think both of us now stand on the Bible. Um, so I'm just going to kind of use that. But like it says, like one of the greatest commandments that like Jesus said was to love others as you love yourself. And you cannot love people more than you love yourself. However much you love yourself will reflect in how you treat others. And loving myself and loving them, the only choice that was left was to walk away. And or not even walk away, but to just let it continue. Like to choose to continue and to grow and to heal on my own.
Yeah. And you and I have talked about this too, right? That if this had happened in our world or in our family where our daughters got older and felt like that we had done something that, that you and I would move heaven and earth to get back to that relationship because I'm going to swallow my pride over and over and over again if my kids have felt like that I have done something to sever a relationship
Mm-hmm.
with us. And that's not just being the bigger person, Sarah, that's just being a parent,
Yeah.
that's just being a mom who wants a relationship with the child that she birthed. I mean, that is such a strong connection, or should be stronger than pride. And
Right.
that's what's so confusing to me is with
Well, and it
your
is very
situation,
confusing. It's very confusing
especially.
because, like, I would actually be okay with my kids cutting ties with me if I had done something that hurt them that badly. And that would
Absolutely.
be an indication to me that I need to go seek some therapy And I need to find out what it is that I am doing that has hurt them so badly.
Yeah,
And that is their choice. If I hurt them so badly, they never speak to me again. That's on me.
right.
That's
Absolutely.
like good for them for sticking up for themselves and choosing love and not survival,
Mhm,
choosing not to be annihilated by whatever it is I'm doing.
mhm,
And you just like, you have to be able and willing to look at yourself
mhm,
and do the heavy, heavy work
mhm.
of understanding who you are.
Right.
Because that, I mean, this stuff doesn't come out of nowhere. Um, it comes from your own childhood. And if you're in a cult, it also is deeply impacted by that as well.
Right.
Like if you're in a religion, I would honestly be looking at the religion, and it's really hard for people to do because that's they have their identity so wrapped up in the religion
Mhm.
that they have lost themselves.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's one of I was doing some research the other day, and one of the, one of the sentences was being a part of a religious organization means that your identity is that religious organization.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why we eliminate ourselves, we eliminate our identity in these kind of cultish, like places when we're raised in them. It's because you step out of that line and try to embrace part of your identity,
Right.
and it is considered to be sinful. It's considered to be, anything that makes your neighbor uncomfortable is considered to be, borderline sin and heaven and hell issue.
Well, it becomes a stumbling block.
Yeah, and and so yeah, you're so wrapped up in that, and I mean, I can't imagine going. I mean, we went 40 plus years. I can't imagine going 60, 70 plus years
Right.
to turn around. But it is better to realize it and actually freaking turn around than
Yeah.
just, and you're right. Like, if my daughters or my son decided in the future that I had hurt them so bad and they could not talk to me anymore, that is their decision. Just because you had a child does not guarantee you a relationship with that child in the future.
Yeah,
It
you're not
is,
entitled to it.
no, it really is up to you. It's just like these parents who think that their children owe them something for raising them and putting them through school and through what the heck is that even?
Well,
That
I
is
mean,
not, the
like,
child did not ask to be brought into the world. They have to make their own decisions, and you might not be part of that decision in the future. Your job is done when they're grown and
well,
gone.
and they like providing for them, like buying them clothes, putting a roof over their head, providing entertainment, putting them through school. Like all of that stuff is bare minimum. Like if you're not doing those things, CPS is coming to your house and you should lose those children.
Absolutely.
That's
That's
those are
just
not things that
fair.
entitle you to their life to make
Right.
decisions for them. You are not entitled to your child's life, period.
And
They are
okay,
an autonomous individual.
yes. And here is the disconnect, I think. Here is what our mother's generation, or specifically, is not realizing is that aside from all the basic care, there is so much more care that is necessary. Like, no, you're not going to be called, CPS is not going to be called on you, but there is so much that helps your kids set up for life. So you've got a lot of emotional support that you have to give to your kids. Like, I don't see how any parents get past emotionally supporting your kids. Um, my kids have needed so much emotional support. And I can't imagine right now if one of them came in here crying and asking for help with something, no matter how minute it is, me just telling them to get out of here. And like I would stop the podcast and I would
Yeah,
just be like, we've got to,
we gotta
I'm
go.
sorry, but this is it. If one of them came in here throwing up, that's the same thing. That's a physical, like it's just, you don't just throw your kids out there to fend for themselves. And that's pretty much the way that our generation, our mother's generation did. They just, and I see some of these videos coming on, like this
Mm.
one that was like this kid was like hitting his dad, and he was like probably 13 or 14 years old, and he was just like shoving him and hitting him and stuff like that. And of course, I'm just like, oh heck no, that is not. I don't put up with that.
Right.
But then it shifted over to um, this guy's like it was a funny thing, and his son hit
Hmm.
him, and the next clip is him burying somebody.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, that's extreme, but that's sort of like he's talking about that generation that, I'm going to beat the crap out of you type generation. That's
Mhm.
how they handled those kinds of behaviors. And yeah, Sarah, it got the job done, but
Well,
at
it
what
silenced
cost?
them.
It silenced them, but at what cost?
Exactly.
It was like at a severe cost to themselves.
I
They
will
don't
like,
realize the internal damage that it did to their
mhm.
kids.
It is, in my opinion, it is easier to provide a roof, clothing, education, food than it like that's easy.
It's also easier to beat your kids into submission than to
Exactly.
really try to
Like
help them.
doing what we talked about last time, like offering like connection, rest, and fuel versus automatic corporal punishment and acting like what is happening is some sort of rebellion and
Yeah.
not actually discipling, which I hate that word, but showing them how to handle your emotions and modeling it in your own behavior
Hmm. Yeah.
is much harder
Hmm.
than just beating your kid because they're doing something that you don't like, that you label as disrespectful, and that just makes you uncomfortable and you're just all sorts of triggered.
Right. I quite recently was observing a mother
Mm-hmm.
who was making her kids, her one child in particular, who was in between the ages of 10 and 5, 5 and 10, okay? Very young.
Yeah.
Um, Telling them that they were not to basically cry and throw a fit when all they were doing was really crying
Yeah.
and expressing disappointment or anger about the decision that had to be made. And the child was doing nothing that was hurting anyone else. It was just grating on someone's nerves, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And someone's nerves being her mother, who has not learned how to regulate her own emotions. And so, on a regular basis, when she gets upset and disappointed and angry, she cries and she
Hmm.
raises her voice. And this is the kind of, so she's doing that on other days. But on this
Yes.
day, her 5 to 10-year-old little girl is mirroring this kind of behavior. And she's basically telling her that she's being bad and that she needs to stop and quit throwing a fit. And
Even
come
though
to
that's
find
what she's
out,
just observing her own mother do.
exactly. Come to find out, the child hadn't had anything to eat. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and she had had a bowl of cereal that morning and had not had anything to eat since. And why can't we just stop for a second and realize
Literally, it takes like
she
in your
was
brain less than a second to make all those considerations. Where are we at in the process of food and
it's
rest
one of the
and
first things
connection?
I ask my kids now when they start getting upset, like
What did you
angry,
eat last?
are you hungry?
Mm-hmm.
What do you need something to eat? Because I am not a mother who I'm not Betty Crocker. I don't go in there and fix three full meals a day and,
Yeah.
sit down at the table with my kids. Like we're good to sit down once a day and have a meal.
Yeah.
And sometimes not even that, depending on the day. But so I'm not preaching to mothers who don't cook three full meals.
Right.
Good grief.
But you
But
provide access to food all day long.
Sarah, that is just common sense, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like you have to make sure and check all the boxes. Are you hungry? I mean, some of my kids, are you getting ready to start? No
Hmm.
shame on that.
I know they're in
Don't
the
make
midst
fun of
of
it,
like puberty
but
and
good
holy crap,
grief.
like that alone.
Yes. So but it is so much easier just to spank a child and send them to the room and get them out of your hair,
Hmm.
is to sit with them through those really hard times and figure out what it is. Because then they get older and they're like, I'm mad about something and I can't stop.
And
Oh,
here's the
I
other
haven't
thing,
eaten
Christy.
anything. I'm nutritionally deficient. I'm deficient and I need protein. Like,
Think about this. It just hit me again. And this is I mentioned last time that what fires together wires together. What are they now connecting? Like food, dangerous. Being hungry, dangerous. Needing sleep, dangerous. Needing connection, dangerous.
yep, it's
No one
all
it's no wonder like that we have the struggles that we have when
absolutely.
every time what we need in the most basic sense feels dangerous.
Yep. It's not safe. It is like needing these things is not a safe place to be. And therefore, that makes so much sense, Sarah.
It literally is kind of like in my head right now. Like I've been like struggling with some things, and
Yeah.
it really all boils down to these core needs.
Hmm.
I have never felt safe around food. I've never felt safe around needing connection.
Hmm.
And I remember wanting it so badly, but it was not safe.
Right.
And needing rest was also shamed.
Oh, yes. I think we talked about that in the
Yeah,
last
we
one.
did. We
It
did. But
was,
I mean, I have
yeah,
specific memory of
I did
being
too.
shamed because like on a Saturday morning, I needed sleep. But
Yeah.
God forbid I sleep past 10.
Yeah. I mean, you'd been getting up at what, 5:30 and 6 o'clock just to get ready to go to school and then
Yeah.
come and then go to bed at 10 o'clock that night.
And I was like, at least the last year I was in that school, I was playing sports as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, to be
Or if it was the
honest,
summer, we had to like garden and like we had a 3 acre yard that had to be mowed and we played outside a lot. And like
yeah. So
okay,
rest
I quit
was
growing at age
necessary.
14 and I'm 5'9". Like I was
Wow.
growing and
Fast
I was hungry.
all the time, probably. Yep.
And I'm not saying that I didn't eat. I actually ate good food. My mom was a really good cook. She gardened. We had amazing food.
Yeah.
But like if it gets a little dicey in there.
Yeah.
Um,
But you were probably shamed for always being hungry.
well,
And
I always wanted more,
yeah.
and there was always so many warnings of you better be careful. You better be careful. You better be careful. So anytime I see food, it's like you better be careful.
Oh my goodness. I do remember asking for seconds and feeling bad about it. Like
Yeah.
feeling,
I mean, I would eat seconds because like I was hungry enough that I had like I needed it and I like I wanted it. I was that
back,
hungry.
yeah, push past like
Like I
guilt that you
pushed
felt.
past that shame.
Yeah,
Um,
for needing
and
more.
it is like mind blowing to me to look at pictures of myself at those ages, like actually under the age of 18. Like my collarbones were sticking out. I was thin. I was strong. Actually, I was very strong.
Hmm.
Um, and I just can't imagine. I cannot imagine saying those words to myself at any
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
It just
I,
it boggles my mind because like for so long I really did think I was fat, and I not looking back now, like having access to some of those photos, I'm just like, what? Because
yeah.
in my mind I was very overweight.
That's so frustrating. I've seen pictures of you. I remember you back then.
Yeah.
Um, and there was nothing about you that was big. I mean, good grief.
Yeah. So I mean, like honestly, like as we're talking, like just these connections are kind of happening, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like there was the puzzle pieces were there. They all kind of all just kind of like came together.
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking of right now is how my kids interpret my frustration when they ask for food an hour after I have fed them. And I'm going to quit doing that. Like,
You
I'm
need your
not
post-meal
frustrated.
snack.
I'm not frustrated that they're hungry. I'm frustrated that partly that I didn't make enough that they can go back in there and get more food, or because it was all eaten in the one setting. Or I'm frustrated that they can't do it themselves. They can't go in there and quickly make them something themselves. They're still too young to really put together a meal for themselves. Some of them. I'm
Well,
talking about.
I was saying the air fryer has been great for us because it's like it's easy to operate, and like if I've already made supper,
Mhm.
I'm not cooking again.
No, I don't cook. No, I'm not talking about the two older ones. I'm talking
Oh no.
more about the two younger ones. They're,
Yeah.
um,
Well, and
I
mine, okay.
mean, my
My
three
kids have it in
older
their
ones
head that
actually
like
can.
because they don't want to, they'll ask me.
Yes. And
And
my
it's
three older
nothing
ones
to do
actually
with
can.
ability.
No, this is like they want more of what I cooked, more of
Mhm.
that. And so what I'm
Maybe
saying
start
is,
cooking
I'm
enough for
not
less.
saying that they can't go in there and get it themselves. I'm saying that I'm going to quit because they interpret it as I'm upset with them for being hungry.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah.
that's not, I'm going to do it a different way because I
Yeah.
don't want them to live with that narrative in their head that they need to be ashamed for being hungry, for having a basic need, right?
Yeah. The next question, though, in this is what does mutuality feel like now in your body?
Okay, say that a different way because I'm not processing what
So,
you're trying to
what does, okay, so the word is mutuality.
do.
So so what does being in a relationship with someone who equally respects you feel like?
It feels like my relationship with you. You're the first relationship that I've had, Sarah, where there's a mutual respect for each other.
Yeah.
Kids is not the same. Like my relationship with my kids is not the same because I am the
You're the
provider.
parents.
I
You're the
am
parents.
the protector, right? So
Mhm.
that relationship with them is never going to be the same as a
No.
relationship with an adult person.
Yeah.
Um, but that is sort of life breathing.
Yeah.
Like my friendship with you has been the connection is God, I'm gonna cry. I hate this. Ugh.
It's okay.
I hate crying.
It's okay. I will cry with you because I'm very much a sympathetic crier.
I am having such a hard time right now. I've never thought about this before. Like quite that question is a little bit.
Sorry, it's a lot.
I'm sorry. Um, so I can't imagine going through all of this and not having someone to talk to about it. So, but it's not just not having someone to talk to. it's having someone that I can connect with that doesn't judge me
Mm.
and who is, I feel like, who is 100% on my side, um, and gets me 100%. And it's not like I'm not I don't know, you've just never made me feel stupid, and I have felt stupid my entire life, even in even in my marriage. Um, so I can't imagine waking up every morning and not having someone that I can Marco Polo about just anything. And
Yeah.
it has just been like it's life breathing. Like it's the reason, one of the reasons. And like I said, it's a different relationship than the relationship you have with your children. But
Yeah.
they are the reason for so many things in my life.
Hmm.
They're the reason I keep going, it's for
Hmm.
them, but it's not enough. It's not, your children are just not enough reason for you to live fully. You have to have other goals. Like if you're just living for your kids, and I hope people understand what I'm trying to say, because
No, I understand what you're saying.
I'm not saying that they are not enough. I'm saying that they can't be the only reason that you wake up every day. It's
Hmm.
not enough for you to be to anyway, maybe you can explain
No,
it more, but I'm
I think I know what you're saying because you're talking about like connection and you're modeling connection for them, like, modeling that when things are going badly for you, no matter what it is. So you're feeling a certain way, even if you're hungry, you're tired, or our core need is connection. And
yeah.
right now, they're children. And as their mother, that's what you provide. But everything that you provide is always a giving, and you're never receiving.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so, adult relationships, like between friends, between partners, that's where we receive our connection.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that is not something that you and I have experienced
Mm-mm.
until each other, like
Yeah.
as a friend.
Hmm.
You were like, I think one of the only people I've ever felt disconnected to at that level. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, and I only need one. I have good friends,
Yeah.
but I don't. It's not the same.
No.
Like we can laugh and joke and get along and all that, but I can't just tell them literally like my my innermost thoughts
Yeah.
and struggles and not feel afraid of how they'll perceive me.
Hmm.
Um, I have that with my husband, but that's also something that we're working on because
Yeah.
we came through the same shit.
Yeah.
Like
And still,
we all three of
I,
us, like we all grew up having our safety threatened around connection.
absolutely. Yeah.
And so, like, this is all still new and
Mhm.
it can still feel very dangerous.
Oh,
And like,
yeah.
it
Well,
can still feel that way. But the only way that you heal that and change that perception in your nervous system is to keep experiencing it over and over and over and over again and it being safe.
yeah. Uh-huh.
That's the way you change it.
Yeah. That's crazy. I, yeah. I've never thought about that before. That, I mean, not quite the way you asked it.
Yeah, but
That's a
like
good question. That
mutuality
was
is
a good
just like
question.
it's like mutual respect. Like we Like what
Yeah.
I like, it's not even that like I would make every same decision you would, but I also like it's fine.
Yeah, no,
Like
you
I'm
and
not
I,
you. It's not for me to make those decisions. And
right,
if I don't like it, that's for me to deal with myself.
right, you and I are very different in some ways. Very
Very.
different. And very similar. I mean, yeah, very similar in others, probably more different than similar, I would
Yeah.
say. I mean, our
Yeah.
personalities are different, our decorating style is different, our what we like and what we dislike. And even in the way that we raise our kids, we're different. But the difference in other relationship is there's no shame crossing over. Like
Yeah.
I don't shame you, you don't shame me, and we don't even in times when there has been constructive criticism, there's
Hmm.
been so much respect and so much love that
Yeah.
that it has not affected me. And I can only speak for myself. It has not affected me in the way that other criticism has. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know that other criticism has been constructive or
Well,
definitely
and
not
I don't,
constructive in love or in
right.
mutual respect.
And I don't think that criticism can, of any sort, even if, honestly, I don't think that it can be loving if you're in a relationship with someone who's never provided safety.
No, no, you
It's
shouldn't
not even
have.
about being safe. Like that's just them giving them your opinion or their opinion,
Yeah,
and they're uncomfortable with whatever you're doing, so they're judging you.
right.
And if you don't have like safety of connection with that person, then honestly, I don't really care what their opinion is. It still hurts, but like at the end of the day, like I don't even respect them.
No, I, if you are, if you don't have a safe relationship and your relationship is very shallow with somebody,
Hmm.
you should not freaking be even sharing your opinion about who they are and what they're doing. And you should keep your opinions to yourself for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
not,
it's easy when there's people that you don't know well. It gets a lot more murky when it's relationships that are close to you, like family members.
for
Which
sure.
can range from, long distance relation cousins or whatever to all the way to like, parental figures or spouses. It gets a lot harder the closer it gets. Um,
But
Especially
still,
when
even
you're,
family, even if it's like your mother, your sister, your
yeah,
aunt, your brother, whatever, even family, if that relationship isn't solid or there's no mutual respect or whatever, you shouldn't be sharing your opinion about their stuff.
yeah, but it
And you
takes a
and I
long time
haven't
to
done
get
it.
there.
You and I haven't done it like there's so much acceptance
Hmm.
of who we are. Um,
Yeah,
that it's sort of like the couple of times that you've given your opinion. I don't know if it's really an opinion. It's like spoken truth. It's for me to be better.
yeah,
It's not because it made you uncomfortable necessarily. It's sort of like you saw that this could potentially really hurt me in the future if
yeah,
it continued, basically.
right.
And it was over some pretty, I mean, the last, I don't know if you remember the last one.
I probably do. We're probably thinking about it both. It actually is hard for me to do that because I have never even like you're the one person where I felt like I could say something and that we had a relationship that allowed for it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and if I saw, I can't remember if I've ever done that to you or not, but if I saw something that I thought, oh, this is not good, and she's going to regret some things and she doesn't see
yeah,
it, I would tell you.
yeah, I know.
I have every confidence that you would take it and you could take it or leave it, and I wouldn't be mad if you decided
Yeah,
not to take my advice. Like that is, I just know that. Like that's
yeah,
not something that I wonder about. And I don't
right,
wonder about whether or not we're going to be friends in the future. Like
right.
I know we will be.
Yeah, it's not a question.
It doesn't scare me. But that's another thing. I'm not
Yes.
afraid of losing you.
Oh, wow. That's big.
That is that is that is one thing I was actually thinking about the other day is
We both used to feel that way.
yes, that has changed. I think
It
it's
has.
changed. I think it has changed since we started this podcast, Sarah.
Hmm.
And that's not been very long.
Oh, it's been longer than you think.
Been
What,
since
this is
before
episode
Christmas.
24. This is episode 24. We've
Have
been
we
doing it
been
once a week and we've missed a few weeks.
like
Horrible.
5 months?
Yeah.
Well, we've definitely got closer since we started the podcast
Yeah.
because, and I mean, some people might not realize we've not really been friends for that long either. It's only
Right.
been like 5 years.
Yeah, it was 2021.
Like it hasn't been our whole life, even though we've known each other our whole lives,
Yes, we've orbited each
been more
other,
acquaintances.
but we
Yeah.
weren't like friends.
No. And so that's definitely changed because I do remember thinking I'm going to lose her. She's not always going to be my friend. I do
Hmm.
remember thinking that. And then I remember thinking, I don't think I can do this friendship with her, with Sarah. I don't think that I have the capacity for or I don't think that I have the energy for it because it was scary, like a relationship, even
Because the
as
connection was scary.
the connection was scary. And
Yeah.
and at the same time, I had some people just being like, um, she's not a good influence, right?
Yeah.
And it was not because that they knew you. They
Oh,
didn't
they
know
didn't know me
you
at all.
at all. But I was being coached by people who,
Well, it's
uh,
because I was non-compliant to the cult.
yeah, yeah.
So therefore I was a bad person.
You were you were stepping out the way that I wanted to. You were just doing it first.
Hmm.
So I was all um, in the beginning, and I was all in through the whole thing. But I'm not. But the doubts did like filter in often.
Yeah.
So
Same.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking the other day, oh, when Sarah and I are like older, 70s, 80s, and we're, you know, like just was thinking the other day that it's the first time I've actually thought of you genuinely later in life as
Hmm.
still my friend and we're even
Oh,
closer and that I'm not going to lose you. Like,
yeah. I totally see us as being those two crazy old ladies who do not care about what people think and just having so much fun. I feel like it was just the continued repetitiveness of expressing what we needed, or even if you didn't express it, like there would be like some long periods of silence because of things that you were going through.
mhm.
And
Totally.
I wasn't holding that against you.
No.
And I honestly can't even imagine why anyone would, because I can't even fathom going through that.
Mhm.
Like that's not something I've had to endure.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. I don't hear from you for a couple of days, which hasn't happened in a while. But
Yeah.
I don't hear from you for a couple of days. I'm not automatically thinking
What did I do?
off at me. What did I do?
Yeah.
Probably more I'm thinking, is she okay? Like
Yeah.
what's going on? Did something happen? Is
Yes.
she okay? And that's when sometimes I will tap into Marco Polo or send you a text
Yeah.
and I'll just be like, this is what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
What's going on in your life?
Yeah.
Like,
I
how are you
noticed that.
doing?
I
Yeah,
noticed that the other, it
that
came to
kind
my
of
mind because for a long time it was more like me checking in on you because I was worried about you.
yes.
And I feel like all of a sudden we kind of like crossed this bridge and now it's been kind of my turn where I haven't been able to like just, I didn't want to talk about what was going on for me.
Yeah.
And it's not, and you weren't demanding to know what was going on. Like, you
Mhm.
don't have to tell me anything.
I just want to
Like,
know if
I just
you're
want to make
okay.
sure you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you want
Yeah.
to talk to me, great. I'm super curious. I will always want to know,
Yeah, I'm definitely
but it
nosy.
is not,
How
oh,
you-
I want to know what is going, like, give me all the dirty details, but I'm also okay if you don't. I will
Yeah,
be okay. I'm a grown
yeah,
adult. I don't need to know.
yeah.
And we respect that for each other.
Right. We respect the boundaries, and
Yeah.
that's a huge one. Is that the in order to have, I feel like, a successful, growing relationship with someone,
Hmm.
um, platonic or not, you
Right.
have to respect the person's boundaries. They are an individual. They are separate from you. They have a life separate from you. They're going to have times where they don't want to talk about it.
Right.
Eventually, we do tell details,
Eventually we do.
right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like weeks or a month after
Months.
the situation. And if I
Yeah.
really don't want to talk about it, I'm not going to say anything about it until after it's
Done.
I did that um actually with you around Christmas time. I think it was like
I think I know what you're
something
talking about.
that happened
I know. And I was just like,
that I did not want to talk about, and but I did eventually. Like
yeah.
I did eventually like give you all the details. When I could separate, when I had
But
processed,
I wasn't
I
like
could
pushing for them
separate.
either.
Not at all. Not at all. If anything, I was just like in my mind, I really want to talk to Sarah about this, but I'm just not ready yet. You know.
Yeah.
Um, if anything, that was the narrative. Not that you were just waiting, wanting me to
Right.
fill the details, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, when I say life breathing relationship, I am 100% like honest about that. And
Yeah.
and and it's interesting to me because I really do think that you could have, I couldn't have said this 3 years ago, but I do think that a person could have a relationship, like a woman could have a relationship with her husband that's this way.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. But
But
that asshole will have to think like a woman in some way. No, I'm just playing. Um, there's
well, it's not
there's
that
a
they have to
lot
think
of
like a woman.
learning,
Yeah.
huh?
It's not that they have to think like a woman. It's that they have to actually learn like compassion and empathy and real communication.
They cannot be any way, shape, or form patriarchal. Like you, I'm sorry, but there is no room for that in my house
No.
or in my vicinity or within a 10-foot
Mhm.
pole of me. There's no room for the patriarchy in my realm. And I have a
Hallelujah.
really, really hard time keeping connection with people who I have a really hard time, no matter how much they want to keep connection, keeping connection with people who believe in that kind of crap.
Yeah.
Really do. So anyway, but I do believe with Sarah's help that you can have that relationship, you know, with your partner.
Yeah. So something that came up just in the last few days, I think, that was I never thought about, and it totally applies to our relationship as well. So like my husband and I are also on this same journey, right? Like
Yeah.
learning relationship
So
as a
proud of
married
both of
couple.
you. Yes.
And it's been very interesting.
Very
Um,
difficult, I'm sure.
it can definitely be difficult.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it because it hits all these things that are so core to our needs that
Mhm.
are, kind of already went there. Anyways, a question that came up in this app that we use. It's called the Paired app, and it's been really,
Oh,
really helpful
okay.
to ask a lot of these interests because it balances things between like serious questions to like games to like just one question,
Okay.
to kind of help you like reconnect or get to know each other again for our
Uh-huh.
our case, um, because we're such different people than when we first met, and we're not
Right.
in that cult anymore. But one of the questions it asked was privacy versus secrecy. And it was, of course, in the marriage context. Like,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can't remember the exact question, but it was something that I'd never ever considered. And what made me think of it is what we were just talking about. Like, because in marriage, you can't have secrecy. And I don't think in a healthy relationship of any sort that you can have secrecy.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second, well, what does that even mean? Privacy versus secrecy in a relationship. And so I was kind of like doing some research about it and I like what I found. And it said think of privacy as a room with a door that can be opened. And think of secrecy as a locked basement no one's allowed to enter. Both
Oh,
involve boundaries, only one involves concealment. Um, Privacy says I'm an individual person with an inner world. Like it includes personal thoughts that I haven't processed yet, like um, friend conversations that aren't about betraying the marriage, like having my time alone. Like I still need me time. Like,
right.
like you need emotional space to like decompress. It's about autonomy, and it's not about deception.
Okay. Deception is
That's really the
a
key.
better word for, yeah.
Secrecy,
Um,
like it, the secrecy is defined more like about deception or by deception, and privacy is just I'm just not there yet, but it's nothing that is harming the relationship or harmful to the relationship.
mhm.
Um,
Or to you
yes, to
personally.
either party.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
For like privacy can say, I'm not ready to talk about that yet, or that's personal, but it's not anything harmful. Privacy exists within connection. And then it says secrecy is I'm intentionally hiding something because I don't want you to know. Um,
Oh,
so
that's
withholding
interesting.
relevant, yeah, withholding relevant relation. Did I say relevant?
Yeah.
Withholding
So,
relevant relational information, like or like deleting messages that you don't want them to see, lying by omission when context matters, protecting access to something that would damage trust. Secrecy requires concealment. It often requires energy to maintain, and if discovered, it erodes trust. So secrecy exists instead of connection.
and that's interesting because if you feel like, not necessarily in your situation with your husband,
Right.
but if you feel like that you have to keep certain things a secret, why is that? Like,
Yeah.
is the person you're with unsafe?
Yes.
Are you unsafe with your secret? Like, are there again, are you harming
Yeah.
yourself? Or are you, that's a big one.
Well, again, one of the other questions that got asked, and I really loved how my husband like actually reframed it because it asked about like are white lies okay in marriage? And and I was like, no, like what's even the point?
What's the point of a, yeah,
What's the point? And he said, I don't actually like this question. He actually even said that it triggered him because it feels like,
your husband did?
yeah.
Okay.
And he's
Oh,
like, because that was such a big deal, like everything, if even like a white lie like was going to send you to hell,
right.
or something where you weren't like absolutely, completely, totally like putting it all out there, whether you were comfortable with it or not. He
Yeah.
said, I think the better question is like, am I in a relationship where I'm allowed to say what I need to say?
Right.
Or something to that effect.
Yes. I can
Because
see why that would be such a trigger point.
yeah. And
Yeah.
like, again, it comes back to, and it's not even necessarily like for him and me that like we were, we were ever trying to be secretive or anything like that. But when, once again, you have been like your nervous system has been hardcore trained that connecting and connection is dangerous, you automatically delve into like the like more of a secrecy versus privacy kind of mindset
Yeah.
because you don't feel safe.
Right. Exactly. If you keep those secrets, if you continue on,
And it's not even in that the things are necessarily harmful, but you just don't feel safe.
right, you cannot share.
And I feel like that was even us in the beginning.
Absolutely. But thinking about it now, I don't have any
Right.
from you.
Right.
Like secrets.
Right. No, yeah, there's no like secrets. And I really like the way it framed it as far as like I don't even have this worked out in my head enough to articulate it. Like I'm still trying to figure it out. It's not something that I'm keeping from you. I just don't even know how to, I'm not there
Yeah,
yet.
I have privacy for sure.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
certain things that I'm just like, but they're very few.
Yeah.
There's not, and
And sometimes like, go ahead.
I don't like tell you I mean, if it
Hmm.
hurts me and it's like, it's a big deal, then I'll tell you. If it's funny, then I'll tell you. If it doesn't matter, then I'll tell you. But then there's some things I'm just like, what would be the point? You know? So I don't have secrets, but I do have privacy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're you.
Yeah.
Like you don't owe, I am not entitled to the entirety of your inner world.
But a husband and wife relationship would be different, right? On that.
Well, that's what it was saying is like,
You still can have privacy
you still have privacy,
because you're
but
your own
it has
person.
an open door policy,
Hmm. Hmm.
kind of is what it's
And
saying. It's
so,
not something that you're keeping from me because you don't want me to know because it would damage our relationship.
right.
Like,
But that's also a boundary, right? That's like
yeah, they're both boundaries.
there's a boundary. Um, so I was told by more than one person that boundaries should not exist in a marriage.
I can guess who it
That
was.
is one of the first things if you hear that, that's one of the first things that is going to make me feel unsafe.
Absolutely.
I have no boundaries. I am not my own person. I have no identity. That is like the worst possible thing you can say to someone is that they do not have boundaries in their marriage.
Well, and we know what they're generally talking about too when they say that
Absolutely. Absolutely. They weren't talking about this though. They were just talking about an everyday
in general.
in general thing. But yeah,
But
most of
okay,
it is
from the people that are saying these things in that world, what they're essentially saying without putting it in so many words, because then that would make them sound terrible. It would be more realistic. Um, they're saying that you are their slave.
Mhm.
You
You're
do
their
not get
share.
you do not have a yes, you do not have a no,
Mhm.
you only have a yes, sir,
Mhm.
no matter what they're asking.
Mhm.
It does not matter how you feel about it. Doesn't matter what is happening in your body, in your life, in your mind. You just, if they say jump, you say how high.
And this is where the patriarchy comes into play, you know,
Mm-hmm.
is when when you're in that kind of dynamic, if that's the word. What?
Yes. Okay. I just saw my notes and this perfectly ties in. We now use boundaries as clarity, not cruelty. Like if
Okay.
you're setting a boundary to make things clear, like, and not as a, to be cruel. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So you're not withholding something to prove a point or because you're mad. You're
yes,
setting
like,
something to protect yourself.
yes, because boundaries that are placed out of protection are for clarity.
Yeah.
Boundaries that are cruel, I see those as like we're in when someone uses like the silent treatment or they withhold their presence from you because you didn't do what they asked, or when they withhold like money or finances from you because you didn't do what they wanted to, etc. Or when they force you to do something, a lot of times this is very common in the cult world, but they force you to have sex even though you don't want to. So rape is very common. Um,
Well, it's not always forced either, as far as like physically forced.
no,
It
it's
is
coerced.
manipulated out of your, yeah, correct.
It's often coerced, and then there's many who will physically force you.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
and so, yeah, when you set a boundary that provides clarity, that is for your safety.
Hmm.
It is about safety. It's not about like you being mean.
Oh,
It's about self-preservation,
absolutely.
and it is what enables you to continue on in a way that's healthy and loving.
Right.
So some other things to like even kind of go along with that is like when people ask you something, you don't have to give an automatic answer. Like think about it before you say yes, because how many times have we said yes without it was just an automatic response. We didn't actually think about what was going on and what that would require of us because so many
Yeah.
times we overextended ourselves. And then also letting people be disappointed.
Right. And
That
here's
is
the
hard.
thing. You can't say yes even for your kids. If someone says,
Hmm.
uh, I'm going to use this as an example. I haven't had play dates in forever, but
Yeah.
have a play date with your 9-year-old. You know, my daughter really wants to play with your daughter. Can we
Hmm.
set this up? Um, Out of respect for my daughter,
Hmm.
because you do have to have respect for your children,
Hmm.
children. There has
Yes.
to be, you need to teach them that there is respect you have for
Mutual respect.
them, mutual respect, and give them respect. If you expect respect from them, you give them
Yes.
your respect. Um, I cannot say, oh, yeah, that would be fun, and then tell her. I would say,
Right.
well, I'll check with her and we'll get back with you.
Hmm.
And
Or
even
you can
that
just say,
sounds,
I'll get back with you. Like I have to check my calendar because
uh,
I don't like putting my
no, that's true.
child
Don't
in a
put your
situation where
child
they
in
feel
that.
blame or
Right.
shame for not agreeing to something they didn't want to do.
Exactly. Exactly. That is a better. So in your head, you could say, "I'll check with her, but
Yeah.
I'll get back with you," and
Yeah.
do
And
that with
I
your
think just
child.
honestly, just
And
often being like, I'll get back with you.
right. And I should have done that recently, and
Still learning.
and I am still learning, and I definitely learned from that whole situation. But you know, uh, boundaries are here's another thing. Boundaries are movable.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what I think sometimes people don't get is
Yeah.
that you are
That's
setting a
powerful.
boundary and it could be permanent,
Can be.
but it could not.
Yeah.
So you're setting a boundary and saying, you and I are not there yet in this
Yeah.
relationship. This is a boundary for me. So
Yeah.
once we get to that point, if you are the type of person that I feel like I can move this boundary for, then I will. But
Right. Well, until
you
you,
haven't proved yourself yet.
yes.
And you are, and I know this is probably overused, but you are the CEO of your own life. So you set that boundary, and then they are proving themselves to you. If they have boundaries, you're proving yourself to them. It is a give and take situation.
You mean mutual?
Mutual. That word cannot be stressed enough in
Yeah.
relationships. Um, so yeah, I think some people are just like boundaries, they're being held back because that's
Well,
what boundaries do. They hold people back until they come into a safer space. In my own situation, in one person in particular, they see a boundary as being uh,
cool.
they're controlled, they're being controlled by me by setting this boundary.
Mhm.
When in reality, I am protecting myself from not being controlled by them. I'm trying my hardest to protect myself from not being verbally attacked, not being manipulated, not
Hmm.
being, all of the things that are harmful to my mental health.
Yep.
I am protecting and it's the first time I've ever done that.
Yep.
They do not like it.
Well,
I
that's
have
actually
no autonomy.
that's part of the bullshit filter is like the people who feel like you're punishing them because you set a boundary are the people you need to set a boundary with.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because like if they can't see that you don't feel safe with them and that's why you're doing it,
Hmm.
well,
Hmm.
generally speaking, these are the type of people who just have major blind spots around who they are as a person.
Yeah.
And like overall, they're
Right.
not safe people.
No. No, but then you come out of this cult who says that, you can be perfect. And and there's
That's
nobody in that cult that is perfect. Not even close. Not even
oh,
close. I'm more
it's
perfect.
laughable.
I'm more closer to perfect than any of them will ever be. And it's simply because, and I know, and I'm not perfect. I would never say that
I
about
know, but
myself.
I know what you mean.
I'm just saying I'm a heck of a lot closer simply because I actually am working on myself and I'm not putting all of this crap about me into an identity that isn't real, to be
Right,
honest. I mean, it's not real. Like
right.
we were, if anything, we were created differently. Like that is very clear. And so all of us are going to be different and we are not going to be aligned
Hmm.
hardly in anything, in
Well,
our
and they
beliefs,
like,
in our looks, in our preferences, in
mhm.
anything. And that's what makes the world go around. So then you get into these cults who just think you're all supposed to do the same exact thing in order to make it to a place that probably doesn't even exist. And it's so easy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah. I
anyway.
mean, you're talking about people who are so ignorant of anything but a spiritual lens and
Yeah,
and have a theology and a belief system that puts them on such shaky ground with their own self.
yeah, yeah.
It, it, it's like almost laughable if it weren't so sad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I told I told a family member recently, um, as we were talking, and they said something about how afraid they were, the direction I was going, right?
Oh yes.
And I said, okay. And I said, so you fear for me and my children the direction I'm going, probably as much as I fear for you staying where you are. That is the power that you have to keep going away from
Hmm.
it
Yeah.
and not be, because that kind of language used to really scare me and just be like, oh,
Yeah.
they're scared that I must be doing something wrong. No,
It's emotionally manipulative language.
absolutely. It's been used against them for
Oh,
years and
absolutely.
years
They've
and
used
years
it
and
against
years.
each other all the time.
Yeah. But here is what is so crazy, Sarah, in the cult is that there
Hmm.
is so much lack of information. There's so much lack of education. It
Uh-huh.
all has to be on this, like you cannot step out of the line for your education or you're going straight to hell in a handbasket. And that is all there is to it. Like they once I started educating myself, that's when everything changed.
Well, they live in such a huge echo chamber. It is unreal.
Mhm.
Um, sorry, it really upsets me. Um, but yeah, they're highly uneducated and they live in such fear around education beyond the echo chamber.
Yeah.
Like anything that would even fall slightly out of line with what they've been told,
Mhm.
their whole life. And the
Mhm.
other part of it is that they don't even try to go find out
No.
because they're still so stuck in this idea that if they're going to educate themselves, and that's fully air quoted, um, they have to, and this is what makes it an echo chamber. They can't even read or research outside of people who already affirm what they believe.
No, exactly.
So how would you ever
Exactly.
actually find out anything?
Right. And the people who have stepped out of the line and educated themselves outside of those lines haven't
Walk
stayed
away.
in the cult. They
They
walk
walk
away.
away.
And I wonder why. I mean, it is like I watch documentaries about like cults just fascinate me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what is fascinating, it angers me because we stayed in it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other side, it's fascinating because there's so much crossover in a cult. Like there's so much of the manipulation, the words,
Yes.
verbiage is just so much the same. And anytime you, especially people who are who are raised, born and raised in that cult, and don't come from the outside in.
Yeah.
Um, that is, it's so fascinating to me. The people who break away, like their stories
Yep.
of breaking away. It all
Uh-huh.
started with them seeing something that did
Did
not
not up.
align
Mm-hmm.
their mental health. Like they knew it was wrong
Yeah.
and they weren't going to stay silent anymore. And then they started educating themselves. A lot
Yep.
of them, they had to get out first, but
Yeah.
it started with education. It had at some point they had to educate themselves on
Yeah.
why this education is so important.
Well,
So,
and the response to that education within their system is always very negative.
yeah,
Like you get blackballed, you get ostracized, you get
yes,
abused
yeah,
for educating yourself.
right,
And you get accused of all of these spiritually manipulative ways where they're like, again, oh, we're so afraid the direction you're going. Um, and
yeah,
if you go this way, then I'm just so afraid for where your family is going to end up. I mean,
yeah.
like, oh my
Oh,
goodness.
and there was even one person who,
Like, yeah, my family's going to end up like way better off than yours, sweet pea.
who said to me, and they're not even in the cult, okay? But there was one person who said who said to me, "You better be careful of what you start throwing away. You might throw away something that's important." And I'm just like, "Bitch, I'm throwing everything away." And I'm totally okay with doing that. I am not
Yes.
staying here. I'm not doing this. I don't want anything in my house or on my person that reminds me of where I came from. I want it all gone. I want my kids to be
On a fresh
free from it.
start.
Yes, I want my kids to be free from it because going back to this is like the or coming away from this for my kids even. It's like they already they are 15, 13, 11, and 8 and they
Uh-huh.
already have triggers of that
Oh,
life.
huge.
Every single one of them already have triggers of that life.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here thinking of all of my triggers at 46 years of age,
Yep.
and they already have them. I mean, thank God if there is a God that that I got out when I did for their
Yeah.
sake. Um, I'll be
And they
working
have
on this for
time
the
to
rest of
rewire
my
their brains
life.
now.
Huh?
They have so much more time to rewire their brains now and actually
Absolutely.
have like a successful life as an adult.
Absolutely. I'll be working on this for the rest of my life, no doubt. They don't have to
Yeah.
go. I mean, they do not have to. And even one of them has already started. Well, no, two of them, two of my oldest daughters have already started talking about the people that they will no longer talk to when they're older. If these people do not align to their way
Yeah.
of thinking. And I'm like, girl, you go.
Yes.
You go. Because that is
Yeah.
exactly the kind of thinking that I want to raise is that they've
Yes.
got every right to walk away from relationships that do not serve them.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think. So here's like a closing reflection, I guess, for this whole series, to kind of wrap everything up, so to speak. So I like this phrase. It says, maybe loving others doesn't start with being better at giving. Maybe it starts with being honest about why we were giving in the first place. Like,
Good grief, Sarah. You've got like, hey, say it again.
well,
Say it again.
okay, maybe loving others doesn't start with doing better at giving. Maybe it starts with being honest about why we were giving in the first place.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. And I think that that's kind of like asking ourselves that question when we're in our relationships, like why am I giving right now? Is it because I feel obligated or because I want to?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with giving.
No, no, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. But
But when people
overgiving
manipulate it from
and
you, like
for,
you feel obligated to them
yeah, that there's a
versus
difference,
like, I want
obviously.
to give this to you because I love you, I value you, I
Yeah,
respect you, and that is coming truly from my heart.
right. Yeah, it's good.
Yes, I love it. So yeah, I do like, you know, one thing that I think that a lot of us struggle with that have come from this, and it takes, I feel like you and I are lucky in the fact that we really have completely been able to like break away, like to make a fully clean break. It boggles my mind to watch people who walk away enough to not have to follow the external rules, but who still live in the exact same mindset. Um,
Yeah.
it just boggles my mind. I don't see how they don't see it. And
No,
those are people that like, for me, I do have to avoid. Like, they are a boundary for me
yeah,
because it's still triggering for me. I don't feel safe with them.
right.
Um, because I know how they think. Like,
Mhm.
I know like the patterns that go there. Um, but what happens so frequently coming away is you still like, shame yourself for not seeing it. Because now it feels elementary. Like, it's so
It does.
obvious.
It does. You just
And
are
so like
like,
you get like
how did
even
you not?
like how can you whatever, and like we get upset and frustrated because like it is so obvious, but it's
uh,
not
Mm-mm.
when you're in it.
Not when you're in it. Not when you're
Because,
entrenched. No.
well, and one of the things I was thinking about as you were talking earlier about education is how toddler like they keep the people,
Yes.
because it is a cult and it is about power and control.
Yes. Toddler like
Childlike.
specifically
Yeah.
towards women. Women
Yes,
are
but even the
definitely,
men, like they're the ones who are typically in charge, and it obviously the power imbalance leans like that the men have the power, and they keep that power by keeping the women uneducated. But they
mhm,
themselves are also uneducated and are
they
doing
really are.
themselves a huge disservice to
Yeah.
having a successful and fulfilling life.
Yes.
They are not
Well,
experiencing true fulfillment of any sort.
right.
They're experiencing entitlement and selfishness. And honestly, the reason why they feel the need to have that kind of power is because they honestly don't feel like they deserve it. They are so
No,
insecure. Like, you want to talk about
exactly.
insecure,
Oh,
that is where it's at.
severely. You want to find an insecure man who believes in the patriarchy, go to the holiness movement. Oh,
um,
or evangelical, really, just
yeah,
any of it across the board.
yeah.
Um, oh my goodness, that is so true. It's so true.
But anyways, I guess what ultimately I'm saying is like, instead of like shaming ourselves for being there and for thinking that and for doing the things that we did because it was out of ignorance. So rather than shaming ourselves, like stay curious and not like condemning, because actually this whole fawn mode thing and the way our nervous system responds, it's put in place to keep us safe. It kept us safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And so rather than like shaming the armor, we just put it away and find armor that fits us now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's appropriate for now.
Right. Right.
And eventually we'll outgrow that.
Mm-hmm.
Like what I need protected from now is different than what I needed protected from then.
Right.
And it's like
Yeah.
those like moving boundaries. Some people get like secure enough and boundaried enough. I don't know. They get to a place of mental strength that I mean I haven't reached yet. That's why I can't be around these people who are half in and half out.
Yes.
I am not strong enough for that yet.
Right.
I hope to eventually get there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we're still fresh out of the gate, it feels like, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah. We are. And the thing is that it's interesting because like this journey, if you will, that we are on, in a year, we're gonna be so sorry. In a year, we're gonna be so much different than we are even now. You know,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, people,
absolutely.
there might be people looking at us thinking that we're so strong on our opinions and stuff like that. Girl, you have no idea what's going to happen in a year's time
Yeah.
because we're continuing to educate ourselves. We're continuing to grow,
Yes.
move forward in this direction. And I feel like that it can only be positive from here
Yeah.
in our
It's
personal
forward.
growth.
It's a
Like,
forward motion.
and this is actually the first time I have felt that way about the future of my personality.
Yeah.
When I was there, I always had a bleak mindset on the future. Always. It was just like, where am I going? And where did I come? Like I didn't know personal growth was just not something I was even interested in
You
because I
weren't
did,
even able to.
yeah, well, I was so disconnected with myself, like my own identity. I wasn't able to like anything that I wanted. I wasn't able to speak out about what I felt passionate about. I wasn't able to, like, there was nothing about me that I enjoyed or I liked. And I
Yeah.
was constantly being told, no matter how hard I tried, that it wasn't enough. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, my future was so bleak. And I think that's one of the reasons I just kept having kids because I loved babies and, you know,
Yeah.
and not that I would trade any of my kids. Don't
Right.
misunderstand
But
me,
like
but yeah,
that is a mindset that is very common there.
it
Like
is.
kids were having babies and children was always presented to you as our singular purpose.
Our purpose, and you always got good stuff when you were pregnant, and you always were praised when you were pregnant.
It's a
And
lot more
always,
care.
yeah, you got a lot more care. You were looked after a little bit more.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not kidding. It's like The Handmaid's Tale all the way through when it's that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's seen it, but it's highly triggering to me because
I haven't been able to watch it all the
so
way
many
through.
similar dynamics in that. And
I just
you haven't been able
it's
to
too
watch it?
close to what we lived and too
Yeah,
close to a lot of other things. I can't do it.
yeah.
Like I need to focus on something more positive.
No kidding. Well, I don't.
Uh, but
Anyway,
anyways, I feel like that's a great place to wrap up this
been good today.
series. I
Yeah,
love this series.
yeah.
Yes.
It's
It's
been
helped
good.
me
Oh, same.
I feel like it's helped me a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
just walking through this. Who knew that one little question I'd ask myself on the way home and turn into this?
That's awesome, though.
But
Those
I do like it. So we'll move on to the next questions. Who
time.
knows what will come up from my therapy sessions?
I love it. Everybody needs to be
I
in
do have
therapy.
an idea for our next series,
Oh, good.
kind of direction. So I'm
Good, good.
looking forward to that. And just as a warning, sort of I do kind of, I don't know if I'll include this yet, but I do want to focus our next series around like maybe sexual identity.
Okay.
Like, but in the same format.
Okay.
Like, and in the way that like how purity culture, like go more in depth how purity culture impacted our sexual identity as women.
Okay. That'd be a good one.
Because that's also kind of where I'm at currently, even like with the clothes I'm wearing or choosing to wear.
Right.
But I mean, it's something that people don't talk about.
They really don't. There's not a lot of talk about it, even outside of the cult. I feel like in just United States,
Yeah. And I don't
so
even
much
mean sexual
controversy.
identity as in like necessarily intimacy, but literally just our who we are as a sexual being.
Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah. No, I didn't think you were talking about intimacy, and that's not an area that really that's not about identity. That
No.
intimacy is not an identity. It is like, yeah, your core, like who you are, and you were created that way. That is, yeah. Mhm.
I think that's be a good one to explore for us.
That is good. Okay.
So anyways, thank you for listening to the all of this series so far. To those who are listening, you got to see both of us cry now. So, oh, oh my goodness.
Not even
Anyway,
gonna watch this one back. I don't
well,
hate it.
anyways, we will see you all next week. Don't miss it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be making you think again.
Yep.
All right.
Like, share, and subscribe, you guys.
Yes, please and thank you. We love you all.
Bye.
You've been listening on the Party Line to I'm on the Phone podcast with Sarah and Christy. Join us again next week for more stories about our pre, post, and mid-culture life. Thanks for listening.